Ladies and gentlemen, social media is on fire right now. Social media is on fire, and you might be wondering, what is this all about? Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this guy called D1 decided to go on national TV. This time around, he is not joking. He said, I am going to show proof, and he did present some proof of Verydarkman. One is the charity. Two is Verydarkman's agege/buy lifestyle. Do not forget that Verydarkman had called out Bobrisky and called out Falz the bad guy. Now for Bobrisky, we all know the orientation of Bobrisky. But for Falz the bad guy, he's not married. Yes, you barely find a woman around him in relationship or whatever. But the thing about calling out someone, even if you have this gut feeling without evidence, can be a little bit stressful, you know? Because if that person decides to take you head on the allegation or defamation, it might hurt you very, very much. Well, as it is right now, I don't know what Verydarkman is going to say or do, although he has said it's not true. I don't do, man. But this guy on national TV, D1, is a comedian. He's one that appeared on Nedu's show, and they said that Nedu has been asked to step down a little bit because of the sponsors of the Glitch Studios and their sponsor. They feel that they don't want some kind of so Nedu Wazobia to step down, at least for now. This guy has gone on national TV. And what he showed on national TV, I think it's better you see it for yourself. Like and share, tap on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell.
I actually want to say the truth. I was the one who set a trap for Verydarkman.
Okay.
Using Nedu. You see, this whole thing you are looking at, on social media was planned.
Okay. Planned by who? You?
Planned, yeah. I planned it alone. That's yeah, but Nedu did not know. I used Nedu to get Verydarkman. Because I know that if I was saying it on TikTok, on Instagram, they will say, oh, this guy is looking for money from this platform. So I needed a platform where I would be able to test, because for 18 months, I've been studying this guy. I wanted to know, is this guy real? Or does he just jump into conclusions and manipulate Nigerians?
So do you have the answer to your question?
It is clear.
That he is real or not real?
So some things, because I'm not going to totally, but some things he actually gets it right. But most of the times, he jumps into conclusion and then manipulates everybody. And this is a clear example. Even Nedu will be shocked, because I know that if I told Nedu will tell him because he's his friend. Okay. Do you understand? And that's why I felt bad, and I started appealing to people that please don't let Nedu lose his job, because I was the one that planned everything. I used Nedu as the snail, as the this thing to get the fish.
The hook to get the fish.
The hook to get the fish, rather. Do you understand? And it worked perfectly. And you can see Verydarkman doing a lot of videos accusing this person. He had, accused that young lady.
Jojo of Lagos.
Yeah, for nothing. And this
accused the Borgia as well, and she has come out consistently.
So look at the pattern. I knew that if I was saying this on social media, it won't really get that weight. And look at it today. Everybody, Nigerians, can see that this guy is not totally, he has his good side, but most of the times he jumps to the conclusion and to be on. Look at it, that's Verydarkman there.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm also concerned about this thing about his sexuality.
Yes.
You claim that you have proof.
Yes.
Where is the proof? You've not showed Nigerians yet.
Nigerians, can I trust you?
Okay.
Are you a man? Can you handle some things?
Bring it on. We can handle it.
Not we.
Okay, I can handle it. I can handle it. Bring it on.
Because, these are very... Now, 1 minute, please. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, don't worry.
Yeah.
Why am I
Don't increase the volume, please.
No.
You'll be traumatized.
Why am I
now.
Maybe you should come, because it's not playing.
No. Okay, let me come there.
Don't worry, just...
No, don't worry.
No. Let me come. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay,
yeah,
good. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, let me
Enough
ask you a
said.
question. Let me ask you a very honest question.
Okay.
With what you've said now, these two people here, if I release these two Nigerians, these two men, if these are your brothers, or you are related to somebody here, will you advise me? If you tell me to release it now, I'll give you 1 million naira.
Because it looks like you've been saying this thing for quite a while, and people have been asking for. Now, I have seen it quite all right, and I understand why you are not releasing it. You know, but in all of these things now, what is the end goal?
The end goal is for Verydarkman to be more responsible. He has to be a better person. You can't come online and say things like, "Oh, I sleep with so. I've had this with men." You know, these are things that, you know. I mean, look at me now, for instance. Tomorrow I can be the spokesman of the president, to the president rather. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you have to be responsible. It's not about, oh, you want to do this, you are a street boy. There are languages that you don't use because people are following you. Millions of people are following you, and his number one enemy is the rattle. The people that support him without questioning some things. You should be able to tell him that, Verydarkman, be careful here. Look at what you did to Jojo. It was because of me that he apologized to that girl for the first time. Do you understand? So he, in as much as he acts like he's a strong man and he doesn't listen to correction, he knows the truth. And little by little, he also wants to be a better person.
What would you say to Nigerians who are saying that you have a personal vendetta against him?
There's no personal vendetta. Let him come out. Let Verydarkman come out today and say, don't monitor the NGO again. And then you will see that I swear I will never talk about him again. Now, another thing is, in talking about Access Bank, if not because Access Bank and Zenith Bank are very strong, they are two financial institutions that are very strong. Do you know that we have, even despite the fact that they are strong, a lot of people withdrew their money from Access Bank, saying that if you could do this with someone's 500 million, that Verydarkman had no proof of, and he just kept quiet. If Verydarkman truly has integrity, I'm saying this on national television, he should go and delete that video about Access Bank and Zenith Bank. The one that had the old prank thing. You should delete it. Those are not things that you'd be proud of.
So looking at everything now, I'm still wondering how you got evidence of him withdrawing 20 million.
I said this earlier. So, first of all, there are some things that would unfold much later, not now.
Okay.
Don't forget that somebody wrote a petition to the EFCC, right? And we already have some information that we are privileged to. Now, it's going to be a long series. It's not going to be something that we just start now and end up. But at the end of the day, when I'm done with Verydarkman, every Nigerian will see that this guy has truly become a better person.
Okay.
And do you think how will you see his handling of Messi Chinwo's issue?
Unprofessional.
Okay.
Business.
Why so?
You think it was one-sided?
I had those documents 2 weeks before VDM. And every time I have a document that is classified, I will ask the person, I'll say, should I put this? Am I permitted to do this? When you give me permission, if you give me permission, I will ask my lawyer. Do you understand? Because you have to be sure you're not breaking any law. He just came out, brought, and the thing is, when you tell people to look here, they don't look at any other thing apart from that place. Do you understand? Just in the case of Access Bank, he was so sure he had evidence, and he was very wrong. Until today, he has not apologized. If he has integrity, I'm saying it again, he should take down that video in the interest of not just himself, but the interest of Nigeria. Because we have to think about nation building. You know, how can we contribute? Now, you calling out, what people think that, calling out people because they don't have a NAVDAC number is all that Verydarkman does. But I'm saying to Verydarkman now that it's good to call out people for not having NAVDAC number. But when they have the NAVDAC number and they've done everything, can you also use that same energy to promote them? Because you have brought somebody down. And a clear example was when Nedu announced I was stepping down. Look at the joy on Verydarkman's face, not knowing that I was the one that used my brain to think of all these things and orchestrate everything. Because I knew that this guy Nigeria needs to see that this guy, is he real? Or does he manipulate people based on his own assumption?
Looking at everything that you have, looking at everything that you have done over the last 18 months, like you said, is there anything you wish you had done differently?
My only regret is that Nedu had to step down from the podcast. That's my only regret. And of course, Nedu is is an expert in this media business and everything. I know he's going to be fine. It was even till now, he doesn't know. Nedu has been wondering, like, how did this happen? But when you plan, sometimes people just, it's so unfortunate. And that's why I apologize to him.
It's so unfortunate, quite right, that he has to leave the podcast. But you've spoken to him?
Yes, I've spoken to him. And I hope you guys don't have any secrets, because Verydarkman.
No, the truth is that I'm not scared. I'm just doing my job. We're just doing our job.
That's the same thing Nedu was doing.
Yeah, we understand, but but they are untouchables in this industry, and he knows that. Yeah. But the thing is this: how is Nedu's mental health right now?
Yeah.
Well, he's fine. He's fine. It's just that
the view is shaking.
Well, the Verydarkman taking this to accuse people wrongly Nedu doesn't feel good about it, because, for instance, he came up with that story, just the way he came up with the Access Bank story. He came up with that story that Jojo of Lele had an intimate relationship with, which is totally false. And this is what I just wanted Nigerians to know, that this guy, you have to question a lot of things that come from, because he assumes a lot. Just the way he assumed that, oh, Mr. Falano SN is the one telling me to, how will he tell me? Does he even have that time?
Is it being funded somewhere? Because, for instance, many people believe that during the talking about Mr. Chinwo's issue with Easy Concept, he was just focused on the issues that Easy Concept brought up and not getting the other side of Mr. Chinwo.
That's what he does. He listens to one side of the story, and then he judges and assumes and manipulates everybody to believing that he's right.
So is it funded for that purpose?
Well, I don't have evidence to that, so I'm not going to say he's funded. But, you know, the most important thing is Verydarkman needs to be more responsible. And that letter is going to get to the Minister of Education on Monday.
The letter states here urgent concerns regarding Vincent Osei's influence on Nigerian children and recommendations for safeguarding minors. If the camera can actually catch this, we'll see quite a lot here.
Put it down.
Okay. So, which camera is catching this? Okay, so the cameras will just catch it right here. They'll capture quite a lot about it. But by Monday, this is going to the minister itself.
Yes, the minister. And I want to also copy the Minister of Women Affairs and maybe the Minister of Youth and Social Development, so that we know he knows that this is serious business. This is not when he claimed that he used to steal generator and all that stuff, you know. So, I mean, it's just for him to be a better person.
What has this whole debacle taught you? How has it changed you as a person?
Well, it has changed my mentality, and it has made me know that when you see things on social media, you have to question them. Very important before you consume, which was the same mistake that VDM made by accusing Nedu wrongly and accusing the ladies that you slept with this person without any proof. So it has taught me that you have to question everything, no matter how much you know.
And he seems to like to always be in the courtroom.
Well, I mean, he likes it. He challenged, for instance, Falz the bad guy and said, "Shebi, your dad is a lawyer, you're a liar, let's do this," you know, knowing fully well that he had no, I mean, you're a journalist. You guys are journalists. You don't just play stuff and then now you made statements saying the same thing that Verydarkman did. He accused, but in my own case is different. Verydarkman accused Falz, the bad guy, of having some relationship, you know, with Bobrisky without any proof. But the difference is I have proof, but I will not be the same person I'm condemning or the same person I'm trying to correct. Because if I put this on social media now, only God knows what will happen to VDM 60 tomorrow.
Yes.
Welcome back. There are a lot of points that this guy raised. Some might be like, oh, you were kicked out of Big Brother Nigeria. This is the one guy. Oh, you're a comedian. Although he did some sold out show, yeah. But, oh man, you're a failure. Oh, you are broke. You are this, you are that. The problem we have, and it has spread into our politics. In fact, the situation we have in Nigeria is as a result of people idolizing someone, which is not a bad thing if you choose to, without continuously evaluating that person. To them, it is a crime against the humanity of that person to continuously evaluate that person. Meaning, a politician comes out, sweet mouth you, give you a bag of rice, some packs of noodles, and some few change in your pocket. Obviously, he has some godfathers that sponsored him or that he had to pay to get that political position. He gets in there, he begins to swallow your money. But because this guy is from your tribe, you want to shut your mouth. And because he has given you money before, a few drop of water, and once he realizes you people are making noise and it's getting close to the time he will be re-elected, he gives you a little drop of water again and you feel good with it. And those that are more connected, they are able to get maybe bigger part of the loot or offerings. And then they forget. They pretend like, in general, people are not going through hardship due to the activities or inactivity of this politician. The same goes to activists. Let us be sincere. Let us tell ourselves the truth. I'm not saying that Verydarkman has not done some excellent job in calling out certain people. He has looked into certain things in our society that has been there, wickedness, you know, in low places, such as someone without NAFDAC number. I know it's difficult to get NAFDAC number. A lot of things are difficult in Nigeria, and people have to thrive. They have to, like, you know, and, you know, make. But then there are certain so-called organic whatever that are not. These things are dangerous, very dangerous. We have people also who will produce fake medication, food items for children, for adults, fake. We know these things. I don't need to point to the tribe or people who go into such activity. So he was able to call out some of these things that people have been calling. It's not like he's the first person calling this, but social media is a different place now. So he has done good in this aspect. And the part of Prophet Jeremiah Omotofufoye, he called out the man because Mr. Prophet was getting, not like we were not even calling out Prophet too, where, but he went to buy and said he wants to anoint the people who had or deliver them or heal them. He bought the water, claiming that Prophet Jeremiah, you said this thing does this thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm using it as a light, a scam. That part of it, a lot of people applauded him because Prophet was going like, and Nigerians were not happy with some of these politicians, and the disparity, the distance between the poor and the rich is so huge. Middle class is slowly disappearing, and even middle class is not middling again. So people are not happy. Anybody that stokes that fire of let us protest, let us show our anger, people will support them regardless. That's why Verydarkman gained traction, not because he's extremely, like people have done things that he's doing too. So he came on board and he was saying these things, and he became known more during the Mohbad's case thing, where he called out Yabo Joe and said, "Oh, Yabo Joe, look at this, look at that." That period to give him that audience, not because other people were not, and others that were also calling. They also gained their they also gained their audience. But the thing about calling certain people and not calling certain people because they are your friends. This guy made mention of Davido. Davido came up with this crypto thing that is simply a pyramid scheme. Davido's face was used. They got the money and disappeared. Of course, Davido got his own share. But because of our society, nothing was done about that. There are people who have their names registered in EFCC or with the police because of the same that Davido did. Because they are not high and mighty and connected. That's one. Verydarkman didn't call that out. He didn't call it out, according to this guy. Now, the part of Mercy Chinwo and Easy concept, you heard the discussion where Verydarkman kept on hammering and pressing the neck of Mercy Chinwo. Mercy Chinwo has her own fans. People love her, they support her. The same with Easy concept too. So he kept pressing the neck of Mercy Chinwo. Yeah, we know that there are certain things that didn't go fine between them. According to what Mercy Chinwo said, there is a contract that she signed, and there is another contract that was manipulated and presented again. Like certain things were changed, manipulated here and there without her consent, and blah, blah, blah. The case is in court. The way Verydarkman went head on into it, which does not necessarily mean anything because the case is in court. So Verydarkman is not going to influence the decision of the judge or magistrate or the judge or whoever. So, but based on social media and the focus of people, it will affect the sales of Mercy Chinwo if somehow, which might not necessarily, because the thing is, people that listen to Mercy Chinwo are Christians, and if Verydarkman is against Jeremiah Omotofufoye or pastors, they will be against Verydarkman. I'm talking about people who are really into the Christian thing. So Mercy Chinwo might not necessarily lose her fans per se, might not really. Even people who don't like her will still play her song. You see, the Easy concept guy, I don't think it will affect him per se too, somehow. The only thing that can affect him are the call out of Mercy Chinwo and other people, like this guy is a bad guy. So people will not come to him for production. That's just basically that part. So he went about it and he said a lot of things. But since the case is in court, we have to wait. Let's see what and what. So he said some things. And the part of calling out Falz the bad guy without evidence, that one said, he said Falz the bad guy is into Omo. And, it looked and appeared like real, because Falz the bad guy normally by now should have a child or somehow have a girlfriend, a fiancé. But the guy is living his life like that. Maybe he wants to keep his private, life secret, that kind of thing. And the case between Femi Falana is something that people got so much interested because they didn't like Femi Falana again. Yeah, they didn't like him again because of the Mohbad thing. They didn't like that he's a lawyer of Cynthia Omonwo Adebanjo. They didn't like it at all. Not at all. They didn't like it at all. He had to bow out, and maybe one lawyer connected to Femi Falana was Femi Falana felt the heat, and I guess he realized that this is not defending Mohbad anymore, it is defending Cynthia. So they didn't like him anymore. He lost that like that people had for him. So Verydarkman gained extra. It appeared like they were trying to bully someone who was trying to do the right thing. Now, this D1, he has his own fans too. People are kind of like, oh, Verydarkman. Yes, Verydarkman has his own fans too. So this D1 is trying to show evidence. And so this evidence is like Verydarkman is into bi. He's doing the male and female. And not just that, he's doing Olosho before. I think the Olosho thing probably has stopped because now he has something to hold on to. 100 million naira was pumped into his charity. He's definitely going to manage himself from it too, pay himself. And if he has staff, he's going to show all the expenses. And he's also making money from his social media presence. So he's not going to be like, he's so broke. He is, at least at this point, he can't say I'm hungry. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to say. But this guy is trying to say, Verydarkman, listen, don't call out people without evidence, and don't try to show yourself like you're a man of integrity 100%, because you are not. There are things that we know about you. There are evidence. There are things that we have seen. Don't play us. Now, I said at the beginning that this is how politicians present themselves. In fact, this is how people present themselves. They want you to see them as people of integrity. They will con you before you say Jack Robinson. After you have put all your heart, your mind, everything into them, they defraud you. They defraud you. So for me, I don't see anything bad in what D1 is doing. I don't see anything bad in the positive part of Verydarkman's activism or online policing. It is fine. We need both of them in our society. We cannot cancel one for the other because we need a check and balance. It doesn't matter their intent. Their intent can RIP inside of them. We need to call out. That is why we have this decay in our society. Oh, I like him and that's it. You don't care. I like her. You don't care. You don't try to evaluate. What is this thing that attracted you to this person? Is it not what they are saying that they can offer? Is it not what they say that they are for? And all of a sudden, what they are for, what they say they can offer is no longer what it is. For example, this audio recording that this guy said got leaked, where Verydarkman was threatening one guy, saying that he will finish the guy, he will cancel him in this Abuja if I say you will not move out. It is the same thing that Verydarkman did some couple of months ago, where a particular political appointee or resigned or discarded or still active, this guy, mixed race guy, bullying this Bolt delivery guy. Verydarkman jumped on the matter. But it's the same thing that Verydarkman according to this guy, did to one guy recently, but he didn't know that that guy was recording him in that situation. He didn't know that the guy has already switched on record. So this is what this guy is saying, that you are calling out that person, using them to shine like this guy, you are bad, but you are the epitome of this wickedness too. So don't call people out like how pastors do when you are full of evil yourself. And don't be selective when calling people out, if that is what you want to do. And don't present yourself like you are a man of integrity when behind the scene, you're only woodworking Nigerians, knowing fully that these people, this is how they are, even with politicians. Sexual aggrandizement, that's their way. You are from my tribe. Oh, leave him alone. And this person is hurting you, but you want to prove that, yes, it's from my own part of the country. So leave him alone. And this person is destroying the world. Leave him alone. Oh, this person, I'm a fan of this person. Leave him alone. Leave her alone. It doesn't work that way. If you want a society that will yield or give positivity, you have to continuously do check and balance. You have to continuously review. If you don't, you will fall into traps. So this is what this guy is trying to say here. Like, we need to call this guy out. Don't point fingers at people when you yourself, you are into the same thing. You are one of it. You are one and the same. That's what he's trying to say here. But, you know, people will have different opinion. And there are people who are for Verydarkman. There are people who are for D1. There are people who will apply wisdom to what he's saying. There are people who will be like, we don't care. It is the same thing. Whatever decision you make, you have to live with it. That's basically what it is. Even the pastors or prophet that people are talking about, they have their fans. Look at their church, full. If you like, it doesn't change nothing. Because there are people who see differently, who understand differently. And there are people who are seeing what you are seeing, but they don't care. They are being fed. Or they just Stockholm syndrome or something. You know, that kind of thing. So there is no crime. We need both of them in our society. That's the truth. We need people like D1. We need people like Verydarkman. Whatever secret life, private life, whatever lives, we need check and balance. That's how government is supposed to operate. You have the executive arm, you have the legislators. Is it not supposed to be check and balance? And we also have the judiciary. And we also have the media. Is that not how it's supposed to be? Calling each other out. Check and balance, check and balance. You have to have someone watching this person, watching that person. You just don't want to embrace and then end it there. That would be outright foolishness.